Cheese culture is changing, bringing new levels of sophistication to the cheese board. The French consume over 25 kilos per person per year, making them the second biggest cheese eaters in Europe, with Greece leading the pack. Now, eateries, stores and concepts could well change consumer habits, with people seeing these gourmet delights in a whole new light. 2 years ago, Parisian restaurant owner MOUNA BRIYA set up a women's-only club for cheese lovers. Cheese has a sensual texture and shape. I assimilate it with women. I was inspired to create the CERCLE officiel des filles à fromage after reading an article written by a friend of mine, a journalist, Olivier Malnuit. He had written about glamorous women and their love of cheese and whether it affected their allure. And the article was illustrated by a series of photos by Thomas Lenné, which definitely left their mark, and not just in France. The exhibition was taken to Tokyo, Rio, and now it's in New York. MOUNA's club now has 3,700 members, including some well-known faces like former Miss France Alexandra Rosenfeld, actress Delphine Depardieu, and television personality Maya Loque. They all get together once or twice a year for a cheese-tasting evening. We don't take ourselves too seriously, but we do take cheese and cheese-making very seriously indeed. We try to introduce members to unusual and rare brands, like the Témignon Bleu, for example. It's made from raw, unpasteurized cow's milk by one woman who only has 25 cows. So obviously, if she stops production, then it could go out of existence. MOUNA is hoping to promote this cheese from France's Savoie region and other local, traditionally made products, with a little help from some new ambassadors. I have called on Anne Hidalgo, who heard about our society, the Cercle des Filles à Fromage, and who promised me she would join up. And I'm actually asking her to collaborate on our next event. So in a few months' time, the Mayor of Paris may well be hosting the next cheese tasting evening at the City Hall. And there are other initiatives giving a behind-the-scenes glimpse into the world of cheese. For the past year, PIERRE BRISSON has been running introductory workshops in partnership with dairy shops like this one in central Paris.
This shop has a hidden extra. It matures its cheese here in Paris, underneath the shop, in the historical cellars of the Marais neighbourhood. Here we are in the part of the store which is closed off to customers.
Pierre is not a cheesemaker, but is fascinated by the whole process and likes to share his passion and knowledge with other cheese lovers.
It's a new concept. It's the cheese version of a wine tasting experience.
And as with wine, they get to visit the aging cellar.
They have hard cheese, soft cheese, seasonal cheese. Here we have a classic seasonal cheese, the Vacheron, the Mont d'Or Vacheron cheese. It's washed every day. Bathing the cheese in a liquid solution encourages the growth of bilinins, bacteria unique to washed rinds, which give the cheese a more pungent aroma and a reddish, orangey tone.
Practices and know-how that are gradually disappearing in Paris. There are now just 8 refiners left in the capital.
Actual aging cellars are something of a rarity in Paris. More often than not, this is because there's not enough space, something us Parisians can relate to. But it's also down to the fact there are highly qualified professionals working in the suburbs, in Rungis in particular.
And for the cheesemakers and refiners, the sessions shed light on their little-known trade. I don't think it gets the same attention as other professions like pastry cooking or butchery. Butchers have an aging process or drying process for meat. We too are skilled craftsmen, we have a certain know-how, and this is a great way of telling people what our work involves. After the visit, it's time to taste. For Pierre, whose father is a winemaker, cheese appreciation is no different from wine tasting.
Once you've worked the cheese around your mouth, keep your mouth closed and breathe in through the nose. Try to take a long, deep breath in through the nose. This is what's known in wine tasting as retronasal smelling, and it's the same idea in cheese tasting. It helps us evaluate the organoleptic quality of the cheese.
Pairing wine and cheese is a French tradition, but other master cheesemakers and refiners like HISADA from Japan dare different combinations. She's showcasing her cheese in this hotel bar near to the Place VENDOME up until November 30th. Cheese with an Asian flavour. Wasabi goat's cheese, for example. Mozzarella wrapped in a cherry leaf. And also goat's cheese with yuzu. It's similar to Japanese pastry. We often see these leaves and yuzu in Japanese pastries. While Eri's family has introduced Japanese cheese lovers to European flavours, she has one of the most popular cheese shops in Paris and has been selling her unique products since 2004.
It's an
Italian parmesan steeped in a 15-year-old Japanese whiskey called Nikka. It was left to macerate for 1 month, right?
That's right.
That's it.
And to enhance the cheese, another Japanese specialty, sake. The first has been fermented 3 times. The second has been brewed with plum liqueur.
It softens the overall taste and makes for a wonderful harmony of flavours. Wine is a more powerful accompaniment because it has more body. Take a Bordeaux, for example. It's richer than sake, no doubt about it, but we wanted to offer our clients a different taste experience.
Clients for the most part from the US, won over by this Japanese twist to classic French cheese.